Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Kingdom of the Kael Isles. This is my custom D&D campaign. Tonight, I have an amazingly lovely party of adventurers that have decided to join me on this wonderful quest of awesomeness and helmed horrors. For those of you that may not have been able to catch not last week, but the week before, we do this twice a month. It's numbers. Numbers are bad.
Math.
The group has recently been able to escape from a desert island that they were unfortunately marooned on. As they left this desert island, they went north and were able to come to this kind of bizarre-looking port village. When they got there, they realized that the people there were acting kind of funky. And as they got closer, they realized they smelled kind of funky as well, because they weren't exactly alive. As they were, as everyone was kind of exploring and doing things, Avok, our resident barbarian, saw something very interesting. He realized that one of the half-orc zombies that they were looking at actually had a brand that he recognized. He mentioned to everyone that he should be the only person alive, only creature in existence alive that has that brand. As they were trying to kind of figure out what was going on, somebody mentioned the word dead, and they reacted poorly to it. And they got attacked by some of these undead creatures. They then heard this just almost otherworldly screaming, very, very loud, went and discovered a new member of their adventuring party, a tiefling named Song, who decided to accompany them so that she can get back her violin amongst the rest of her possessions. They found out a little bit about her, and they do know that she is there for some reason and has had some things that have been done to her that she's been very vocal about complaining, not very vocal about describing. So as they were exploring what seemed like a very large manor, they found their way into a hallway lined with suits of armor. As they were exploring it, they found that the entire floor seemed to be kind of deserted and no one had been there in a very long time. They eventually found a set of double doors at the back. When they reached to open it, one of the suits of armor came alive and decided to greet them in the way that living, magically created suits of armor greet everyone, which is to try and kill them. It was a very, very tough fight. They weren't sure if they were going to be able to live through it, especially when they dropped him an entire floor and then he just flew back up.
Butthead.
So they've just recovered from that. They're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. So without any further ado, let's get back into the story. So you guys have just finished watching Song literally bitch this armor to death. And as you guys are kind of recovering, the party itself is actually kind of separated onto two different floors right now. You've got Fade and Avok, who are on the lower floor, who were going toe-to-toe against this armor. You've got Song, who's kind of trapped on this balcony because there's a giant hole in front of her that she created. And then you've got Elaine, Elaine, did you jump down? Do you remember, or are you still up top?
No, I jumped down.
Yeah, you jumped down. So Elaine is down there with Avok and Fade. And then right now he's being very, very silent. but Phaeton, their resident wizard, is upstairs trying to keep his innards from becoming his outards, because he is very, very damaged. So as you guys kind of watch this magical monstrosity of metal and other just sharp things just kind of slowly wither and die, and the magic fades from him. Song, I would like you to make me a perception check.
Crap, why is it always me? Alright. Everybody take a moment and pray to the dice gods, please.
That would be my name.
Perception, there you are.
Good roll.
Yes!
So what'd you get?
21, sorry. Excuse
21. All right, so as you're up there, you realize that in your haste to trying to defeat this monster, you really hadn't taken the time to look around. So as you're up there kind of catching your breath, recovering from the just incredible amount of arcane energy that you forced into your words recently, you kind of sit back a little bit, you lean against the edge of the balcony, and you kind of just start looking around. And as you turn around to kind of gaze out over whatever it is the balcony is hanging over, you actually have to force yourself to remember to breathe. As you look out, you can see behind this balcony, you can see forest going out for quite a large area, but directly behind this balcony, you can see what looks like a massive settlement, to the point where it seems that the building that you guys were in is kind of the gateway entry to this very large walled almost city. You can see in the distance there are various buildings. They're all connected. It's basically looks like a giant manor or castle that's kind of situated and kind of hidden amongst this forest. As you look out, you notice that you can't really see the ocean or anything from where you are. You just see miles and miles of forest surrounding this place. And as especially with a 21, as you look around, you notice that the forest itself looks like it's started to overgrow parts of this rather massive settlement-sized castle. So you kind of get the idea that this place has been here for a while, and just like the area you just went through, it has not been very well tended in a long time. In fact, had you approached from the outside without being able to see inside of it, you might even have thought that it was abandoned. Avok, Elaine, and Fade, I would like perception checks from you now.
I believe.
Oh, Lord.
It's always a nice thing to hear.
15.
Mm-hmm.
2 for me.
6. 6 for me.
So Elaine and Fade are very much still focused on the giant mechanical monster that they just killed. And they're still trying to, like, you can tell they're still trying to suss out exactly how bitching turned it into death. But
I'm happy about that.
yeah, I mean, if looks could kill, apparently they can. Who would have thought? Sorry, I'm reorganizing my desk so I can actually roll when I need to. As you guys kind of look around, you realize that the room that you're in, obviously, was somewhat important. You can see a lot of things around here that look not incredibly valuable, but unique. You also notice that underneath this large pile of armor pieces is what used to be a table, and you can see shards of broken glass. You can see pieces of broken metal that look like it used to be a part of something that was created with relative care. So obviously, he landed on a table that was holding something. It probably looked very pretty before it met a large helmed horror. So,
Oh, horrors.
what would you guys like to do?
Well, I'm gonna go and like kick over the helm horror, like kick it as well as like roll it off the pile of wood.
Okay. I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative. No.
Oh, you son of a- I was ready.
I was ready too.
As you go over and you kick the helm of the helm horror off, you notice that it seems like an inert set of armor. It's relatively thick. Like you notice that the armor itself, as you kick the helmet, seems heavier than a lot of armor that you're used to seeing. This definitely has some weight to it. As you kick it and kind of move things around, it takes a fair amount of effort to be able to move some of the larger pieces of the armor. But you're eventually able to kind of uncover what used to be a table. You can see what looks to be various pools of liquid that are on the ground. Some of them are very bizarre colors, like you see greens and purples and blues on there. You can see some have mixed together to make these very kind of ugly, like purplish green and brown liquids. None of it seems to be reacting, and a lot of it is starting to get soaked up into the carpet and into the stones beneath it. So, yeah, you can't really tell what any of it was. You can just tell that at one point some of it had liquid in it.
Oh boy. Do I touch it? Do I not touch it?
I always go with the idea, whatever makes the better story.
Touch it.
I go find the next door and make sure it's locked.
There's actually only one door in this particular room. It's the same. It's the same direction that were you in the upper room, the double doors would be. So as you get in there, the door itself doesn't seem to have a very intricate lock or anything. It's a very plain door. It does look like it has a locking mechanism on it. It requires a key to use, though.
I stand by the door and don't let anyone come in.
Okay. The rest of you?
Look around the room, I guess.
Okay. As you kind of scan the room, is there anything particular that you are looking for? It's those tough questions. What you looking for?
Anything useful, and maybe some violin, maybe?
Okay. Go ahead and roll an intelligence search check for me.
That's a 10?
Well, not horrible. As you kind of look around, you don't see a violin. You do notice there are shelves. Like the room itself is relatively large. There are shelves literally everywhere. There are desks that are just full of different items. You notice there are some areas where it looks like very meticulous care has been put into making sure that the items are in a very specific order. There are other places where it looks like somebody just came in and just dumped stuff. You do notice a few boxes in various places that would be large enough to house something like a violin. You have absolutely no idea what's in any of them as of right now. There's 4 different boxes that you see in various places.
Can I check for traps?
Sure. What would you like to check for traps?
All the boxes.
All the boxes. Okay. That's an intelligence investigation check.
10.
10. You detect no traps on any of the boxes that you casually glance at.
I'm gonna open one.
Okay. Of the 4 boxes, they have they all look slightly different. You have one that basically just looks like a standard crate. You've seen crates like this on boats and everything. I totally forgot to turn that off. Thank you for the follow. I sincerely appreciate that. However, during the game, I generally tend to prefer not to have too much music playing so it doesn't kind of interrupt us. But I appreciate that. I really do. There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good. Although background music wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm working
Yeah.
on that. To get background music that you guys can hear and the audience can hear is slightly more difficult than it sounds when I have to worry about copyright law. So we're working on that. So back to the boxes. You've got another one that looks. It's just kind of a black nondescript box. It's got a hinge on it. It's designed to open. There are no locks or anything on it. You have a third one that looks a little bit more elaborate, like it was possibly maybe a gift box or something like that. Still made out of wood, but you can see like red trim on it and stuff like that. And then you have a final one that actually it's a locked. A lockbox. So this one is obviously designed to be locked and keep something protected from from anyone just going to it. Which box would you like to open?
Let's open the regular crate first.
Okay, so you go over there. Opening them is generally relatively easy. You take out your dagger and you use it to pry open the top of the box. As you look into it, you notice a layer of straw on top. And as you kind of pick through it, you start noticing that this box is full of small, empty bottles.
Oh, that hurt. Okay, well, what? There was a lockbox, and then
There was a nicer box, and there's a crate, black box, nicer box, lock box.
I'm just gonna go for the lockbox.
All right. So as you sit there and you attempt to open it, you notice it is locked.
Well, yeah. Well, where? Going to unlock and open it.
All right. Go ahead and make a thieves' tool check.
11.
11. So you're futzing with it. This is not the greatest lockpick you've ever done in your life. However, as you sit there, it's not a very complicated lock. You are able to just and you open it up without too much difficulty. As you open it up, you look inside and immediately have to kind of back up a little bit. Inside, you don't know what they are. You've never seen anything like this. You do know it's very pungent and it doesn't smell very good. It looks like pieces of something. You're not exactly sure what it's used for, what it is. It really doesn't smell very nice.
I'm just gonna close that box.
Okay.
Let's close that one. And what was it?
Fade, make a perception check for me. Or what's your passive perception? Never mind.
12.
12.
11.
Yeah.
11.
You, even from across the room, it takes a little bit of time, but just from smelling it, more smells that you recognize.
I know what that is.
You recognize that as some of the more some reagents that you've used before that other arcane practitioners may not have experience with.
I would love to go over there
Mhm.
and say, "I'll take that,"
Okay.
and just push Elaine aside and try to grab it.
Yeah.
You are more than welcome to.
Okay,
It's not.
I do that.
The box itself has a little bit of weight. There's the reagents that you find in there are very specific to the practice that you are already very familiar with. Um, so yeah, there's enough there that your former employment, this would have lasted you probably a couple of weeks worth of experimentation and trials. So
Yeah, buddy.
What's in the box?
It is stuff that you do not want to know, but I will make good use of it to save your life someday.
It's weird Eladrin stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Great. Can I get down?
Oh God! If you jump, I'll catch.
Promise?
Well, I'm a little impressed with you talking the big suit of armor to death, so yes, I promise. Just jump!
Fine!
I'd like dexterity saving throw from Song and an athletics check from Avok.
I'm gonna open the fancy box while they do that.
Okay.
That's 18 athletic.
Oh,
Oh wow.
I got an 8.
So, so Song, you kind of spread your arms and try to do this very graceful thing, and you trip, and you start going kind of head over heels. You let out a little bit of a scream as you realize this may not be as comfortable as you were hoping. Avok, you actually are forced to kind of dive a little bit because she misses the mark completely, but you are able to kind of basket catch her kind of upside down, like it's really, really awkward, but you're able to do it without her taking any damage.
She's elegant. She's grace.
I know.
As
Nice.
she's doing that, Elaine, as you go over to the more elaborate looking box, as you attempt to open it, you feel a jolt go through your arm, and I would like a dexterity saving throw from you.
Should have checked out for traps.
It's possible.
Oh my god.
What'd you get?
Bull.
You said dexterity saving?
Dexterity saving throw. What'd you get?
An 8 plus 5 because math.
Math. Okay, so that's a 13.
Mm.
Okay.
I guess.
So that's...
And you die.
Done.
So as you open it up, your kind of danger sense isn't quite quick enough, and you take a full jolt of lightning energy that just kind of courses through your body. You take a total of 8 lightning damage, and the box itself is now completely open. It looks like the trap itself has been sprung.
It better be.
I look at
What's
you
in
and
the
say, "Don't
box?"
do that again."
Says the one who opened the door that triggered the helm whore.
We got in the room, didn't we?
But we had to fight a helm whore.
Elaine, as you look in, you see an immaculately carved violin. As you kind of stare at it a little bit, you notice that something about it, like you have a hard time taking your eyes off of it. You get the feeling that there may be something arcane about this. You're not 100% sure, but it's got something to it.
Is it red?
It is.
Oh, do I see this since I'm
should
there?
pick it up.
Yeah,
Picking it up.
you were like near him when it happened, and you watched him get fried a little bit. So you can see, like, you can't see it well, but you can see a little bit of red light kind of gleaming off it as light reflects.
I would very much like to position myself in between song in this violin, so she can't see it.
Okay, very, very possible to do. You're a biggish Eladrin.
You heartless jerk!
Oh, don't worry about it.
So,
I know
I
it's
look at
broke right
Elaine
now, it's
and I
fine.
point to like inside her pocket.
Fade, I'd like you to make a stealth check for me.
That's a 19 on the die, ladies and gentlemen.
Dang!
Plus 3.
Now, are you wearing heavy armor?
Oh,
Oh.
no, I'm not yet. I'm wearing
Oh.
medium armor.
You're wearing medium armor. Okay, so you kind of move in the way and you give your hand gesture. Song, go ahead and what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 13.
13. You notice nothing. So Fade, you're able to convey your message to Elaine without anyone else really noticing.
Can I try to do another stealth just to kind of get a message to Elaine saying we need to see if she's on our team for real? Because she was really hostile right away.
Hand gestures are relatively simple. If you want to get an entire speech to him, you're going to have to wander over and try and whisper in his ear and hope that nobody notices.
Well, I'll just point to her pocket and see what he does.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get up and put down Song.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You can't jump for shit, just so you know.
Yeah, they didn't exactly teach me that very well, but I'm sure you got quite a handful. Anyway.
Yeah, that tail's just lovely.
Yeah.
Anywho, so what's in the other boxes, guys? Guys.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You see a sheepish smile.
It was trapped.
It hurt.
Elaine got hurt.
Yeah. And we found a thing.
Okay.
I think something Song might like. And I just walk past Fade and show her the violin. Show her the violin. Show Song the violin.
You are my hero. And she throws her arms around him and gives him the biggest kiss ever.
Oh,
and then
God.
proceeds to snatch the violin out of his hand.
She's just frozen in place now. Doesn't even know what to do.
Should I roll an investigation to see if there's any damage done to it?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay.
And I catched her.
And I helped.
Yeah, but sweetheart, you also got the opportunity to do a chest grab. I'd say you're one up right now.
That wasn't my intention, just so you know.
It may not have been your intention, but it was still a thing. Okay. Let me look at this.
Whatever.
You said I took 8 damage from that chest?
Yes.
No.
3.
2 on the die.
All right. So, as you're sitting there looking at it, you're trying to kind of compose yourself and thinking about, how can I make it seem like that wasn't just an epic fail, and all this stuff is just going through your head all at once. You're not really able to get a really good look at it. It seems to be all there. It's got the strings. He just gave you the violin. There was no bow that he handed you, so.
Oh, was that not in the box?
You can go look.
Where's
I'm going to
the
go
bow?
look. I'm going to go back and look in the box for the bow.
You notice that it's kind of the box itself is kind of layered in felt on the inside, and you notice that on the side there's actually a little kind of flap of felt that as you kind of flip it over, you notice that the bow is hidden under it.
Okay, I lift it up and hold it up and be like, here it is, take it.
I can always at least count on you.
I guess.
You are an absolute peach.
You're an absolute bitch.
Some days.
Some days.
Can I just kind of look over our group and see just how badly damaged that helm horror tore us up?
Just saying, no, I'm good on HP, so don't worry about me.
Okay. The rest of you, you know that Phaeton is very, very bad off. He eventually kind of tied something off to something there and climbed down, but he's basically given you the idea that he is going to just stay back for probably the next 2.5 hours. And then
Right,
we'll see how he's feeling after that. So
I'm going to inform everyone that battle took a lot out of me, and I'd like to spend a little time in this room if we can prop that door closed somehow. Try to recuperate.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Dibs on the floor.
Is the giant bed that was upstairs, did that fall down through the floor also?
no, it's on the edge of the hole.
Okay. That's too bad.
I'd like perception checks from everybody.
Roy! Oh, God.
Such a
Son of
good
a-
Ooh,
day.
nat 20 from Fade.
7.
So, Fade,
7.
what's that total? Because I know you're wisdom based.
I rolled a nat 1.
Well done, buddy.
No, give me something to hit and I'll hit it.
21, so that's great.
Okay. Wait, you're wisdom based with a nat 20?
Yeah.
So you
Am
only have
I wisdom based?
clerics, aren't you
Okay.
normally like wisdom is your spellcasting
Yeah.
ability?
Yeah,
There's a chance that I'm looking at persuasion. Perception is +6 because that's my spellcasting stat.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm sitting there. Is like if you lowballed your wisdom, you guys are not going to
I'm
be
doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong, you guys.
So with a 26, did anyone else get anywhere near that?
No.
Okay. The rest of you guys are all kind of enamored with Song and her new equipment.
Still freaking out from the kiss.
I
I
carry
mean,
this
Song's
one.
enamored with Song, so I mean, it all works.
Yeah. Fade, however, you just kind of using your kind of almost unnaturally good elven hearing. You hear what sounds like footsteps coming from the hallway behind you. And after these footsteps start sounding, you also start hearing the very familiar sound of a key being placed into a keyhole and turning.
Yep. All right. Boy, can I do like a stealth check to try to shush everybody while pulling out my sword and getting ready for an attack?
Sure. Go ahead and do that.
14 plus stealth 3, 17. 17
So
to shush.
he kind of turns and goes, shh, and he kind of prepares himself. The rest of you guys kind of look. Now you notice that the door is starting to open. Avok, with your nat 1, you are still kind of just looking around the room, a little bit confused. The rest of you guys notice a very large half-orc coming in. You can see on his back is one of the most wicked-looking handles. You can't really see what it's attached to, but it's solid metal. It's got this very kind of grotesque look to it. And he comes in, you can see he is covered in scars. You can see it looks like his arm was reattached. You can see holes that haven't really healed. You can see that light in his eyes. And he, as he comes in, he just kind of looks at you guys without any anger or malice or anything, and says almost in a monotone, "You shouldn't be here." And Avok, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, crap.
17.
17.
Woo!
As soon as you hear those words, the blood in your veins freezes. You actually get to the point where you feel like you can't move. But you shake it off as you realize that voice belongs to your brother.
No fucking way. Okay, I can still move, but I'm like,
You are with how high your saving throw was. You're not to the point where you're paralyzed or anything like that, but your pulse is racing. This is beyond I've seen a ghost. This is someone that bled out in your arms. Like this never should have happened. You are almost to the point of psychotic break, upset.
yeah, my hands are shaking. Yeah, trying to control my emotion, but so much. Like Avok's feeling like a lot of emotions.
As you kind of turn and you look at him in the eyes, you recognize a face that you grew up with. You instantly are brought immediately back to childhood and the little games that you guys used to play. And then you're brought even forward through the training and the incredible torture that you guys went through to become what you were. And then the last memory to kind of flash through your brain is the very last time you saw him just before your entire world went dark. And as you kind of look him in the eyes and you're trying to figure out what it is to say, you realize that as he looks at you, nothing. You see no recognition. You see no acknowledgement. He could literally be looking at anybody on the street right now.
Okay.
The rest of you guys notice that Avok is acting really, really weird. And as you guys are doing this, you see this massive half-orc reach behind and unsheath this incredibly wicked-looking great axe. You can see that the blade itself is serrated and has little chips of metal that come off it, making it look like if it hit you, not only would it cut pretty deep, but it would take pieces with it. You also notice that the axe itself has a kind of an energy coming from it. You guys can tell that there's something more to this axe. And as he kind of readies it in front of himself, he looks around the room and you hear him say, "You broke the master's things. You should not be here."
I quite concur. We were just leaving.
I'd like to lunge to try to disarm him.
Okay.
I don't want to attack him. I had my sword at the ready for an attack. I don't want to hurt him because I don't know what his intentions are, but I see him drawing a weapon, so I want to stop him.
He's a little bit too far away. Like you are towards the back of the room. He's at the doorway. You've got about 20, 25 feet between the two of you. There's no way that you could lunge before he gets the axe out completely.
Okay, thank you.
Before, like, you guys trying to think, okay, I kind of have an idea what I want to do now. Okay. I'm staring at him and, like, seeing that expression of nothing, just his face, and knowing that he's dead in my mind. My anger is swelling up to a point where I am fucking raging. And I unsheath my greatsword and I charge at him. How dare you wear his face?
All right.
Great sword, stop.
I'm raging. I'm not listening. And I'm going to attack him. Yes.
Go ahead and roll your attack. Everyone else, go ahead and roll for initiative for me.
Oh shit.
You got those second characters rolled up yet?
Yeah. Do you guys have a spare character? Is that something you'd like? You'd have.
Wow. Well, healer's going last, so I guess that's good.
I got to pay for my net 20 with a net 1.
Damn. All right, so first let me get initiative, and then I'll let Avok make his first attack. Song, what you got?
Hang on just a second here.
Fade, what you got?
4.
Avok.
Oh, hang on. I rolled the
Elaine.
16.
17
Right.
initiative.
17 for Avok. And Song, you got it yet?
No, remember it won't let me roll and roll 20 without a token.
Okay. Just type. It won't let you.
Oh, right. Duh.
D20
I'm
plus.
my brother. Some days. Good God. Wow. 5.
Oh, wow. You guys are doing super, super well.
Healers are going last.
And then.
He rolled a 1.
All right. So, Avok, what you got for me?
I rolled a 23 to hit.
All right. So you bring this axe down, and it greatsword. I'm sorry. You bring your greatsword down, and it hits, and it hits hard. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Plus 2. And that's the last of my rages. Dang it. 9 plus 4, 13 plus 2. That's going to be 15 slashing.
All right. So you sit there and you cleave into him, and as it hits, he just locks eyes with you, and doesn't really react the way that you were expecting him to. He turns as you sit there with the sword kind of implanted in him. You watch him come around, grab onto the sword with his bare hand, and lift it, and kind of throw it back to you as you're holding on to it, to where it kind of clings against your shoulder as you get back into a ready position. And he just looks at you and turns you, and you just hear him go, "Ouch." And you see him bring up this massive great axe, and he brings it down on you. And what does he roll? 25, I think, is what it's looking at. Does that hit? Do you think that hits?
It hits. I'm raging, so it's going to get half. Well, that depends. This sucker's magical, isn't it? Well, actually, it's still going to be slashing damage, so yeah, it does get half.
So you take, and I'm going to add this to it to make it work. 7 plus 4. I have to do math. Give me a second here.
Boy, this should be fun.
Shit.
Uh, 16 slashing damage as he sits there, and you feel it cut relatively deep. And then he brings it up and swings around for another attack.
Does that 16 gets halved, right? Or was that halved?
That's not halved. That is pre-halving.
So it's 8, actually.
That's 8. His second attack is only going to be 12. Does a 12 hit you?
Misses.
Yes. So second attack, after recovering and noticing that not only does the attack hit you really hard, but it rips away parts of your flesh to the point where you're actually bleeding pretty heavily. He brings it back around, and he takes another swing at you, and you duck under it. Next up is going to be you, actually. At the beginning of your turn, you take 3 more necrotic damage as you are bleeding out from this gaping wound he gave you.
Okay. Lucky hit, you son of a bitch. That is a 13 plus 6 is a 19.
19. So you bring the sword back around, you take another slash at him, it digs deep, and it hits hard. Roll damage.
Come on, double 6s. You suck. For a 10 damage.
All right. So as you take it and hit it, he yet again, as he's kind of looking at you, just pulls it up and throws the sword back into your face. And this time he doesn't even say anything. He just looks at you with this kind of blind stoicness to it. Next up is going to be Elaine. You're up next.
I'm just gonna let them fight it out. I'm gonna take it out. I'm not getting anywhere near that.
At least throw something.
I'm going to shoot him many times with my crossbow.
Okay. So you bring out your crossbow, you bring it to your shoulder and look down the bolt as you fire.
12.
Okay. As you go, the bolt goes wide and just barely misses him. He never even breaks eye contact with Avok. Is there anything else that you want to do?
I want to take a couple steps back.
You can do that. You'll basically be pressing yourself against the wall.
Good.
All right. Next up is going to be Song.
Do you guys know that guy?
I do not.
None of the rest of you guys have ever seen it. You just know that Avok reacted rather poorly to it. And he just took a big old chunk out of Avok.
Is this normal?
I would assume so for barbarians. I don't know.
Has he done this before?
Maybe.
No.
They haven't done anything like this before.
The raging thing you've seen before.
Like, yeah, I was like, are you talking about the raging or getting chunked?
No, I'm talking about him rushing head on to
Well, I mean,
kill that guy when we're not in a position to do so.
well, he doesn't really seem like he's in a thinking mood right now, so.
Ragers are gonna rage.
Rage is gonna rage.
Please don't.
Okay, Bard.
So, what are you gonna do?
Okay, of course.
You can attack. You can
No?
you flirt with them. You know, if you want to go that route.
Try it.
You can moon him. You know, whatever you want.
I mean, I'm not really into necromancy, but thanks for the offer.
I get very happy.
I mean, and it seems like his
Of course
blood's
you would.
already kind of taken, so, you know. Take your losses, I guess. She's gonna try and attempt to calm Avok down, try and get him to stand down a little bit.
Okay.
And
how is she going to do this?
through the power of persuasion?
The power of love.
I have nothing else going for me right now.
Sure. What exactly do you want to say? What exactly do you want to say to him?
Now is seriously not the time to be doing this. Your friends are hurt. This is no longer about you. You are putting everyone in danger here. You need to calm down.
Song, go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
Okay. 13.
All right. Avok, roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay. Wow. It's going to be a 20.
you in the back of your mind, like right now, you're kind of overcome with rage and seeing this figure that you know is dead. In the back of your mind, you can hear this tiny voice that is Song speaking to you. So you did hear her. It did break through your rage. You have a choice as to what you want to do with that information when your turn comes around. Fade, what you like to do?
I'm running up on them.
Okay.
Because that's what I wanted to do earlier. So
Okay.
I'm going to get up there. As I get closer, can I perceive using my magical know-how of this particular type of thing to determine anything about him or the axe?
Go ahead and roll.
I don't know if it would be investigation because I'm not really. I don't have either of those things, but
technically, I'd say this. You can use Arcana or Religion to try and figure out more about him specifically. If you want to know more about the axe itself, that would be an Arcana check.
All right. Well, let's do an Arcana check.
Okay. And are you checking him or are you checking the axe?
I'm checking the axe because if he's dead, I'm hearing my friends say he's dead. So something's up.
Well, you are very familiar with the fact that undeath can take a lot of different forms.
I am. So I roll an 11 Arcana check.
You really don't get a whole lot from the axe. You think it may have. You're not sure if it's just very well made, or if it has some sort of magical properties. You're not sure which. You know it's not a regular axe, but beyond that, you have no idea.
All right. Well, let's say I'm doing that as I'm running up to him, and then I'll get as close as I can, and I'll just kind of take a slamming knee with my shield and just put it in front of me to either get his attention or not die.
Okay. Does that mean you want to take the full defense or total defense action?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you kind of prepare yourself. You put your shield up to try and keep yourself as protected as possible. You're not sure if he really noticed it. Even or odd?
Odd.
As you come up, you slam your shield on the ground and you kind of, hide behind it and kind of brace it so you can take any sort of punishment he unleashes on you. He doesn't seem to really notice, and so he comes around with another just overhead swing of his great axe, and we're looking at a 20. Does that hit Avok?
It hits.
Okay, so it's 7 plus 5 is 12 slashing damage. And you notice that, again, as he pulls away, the cut that you had before has now been married with another very big gaping wound. And he brings around the axe for another swing at you, and that's a 19.
Hits.
Man, I'm rolling poorly. 8, 5 is 13. And again, a third kind of really gaping wound. You notice that it's starting to ooze out a little bit more. The blood is running much freer. Every time you get hit with this, it takes a chunk of your flesh away with it. What was I going to do? Oh, it is Abok. So you've heard in the back of your mind Song saying something. You can choose to ignore it. You can choose to listen to it. What would you like to do?
All you guys just get out. I'll take care of this fucking thing. Anybody care to respond?
No. No.
I mean, I have no argument with that.
I know that nobody's going to run away because I tried this 10 minutes ago and it didn't work.
Greatsword, are you an idiot? together. We're not gonna leave you alone. Get a hold of yourself or you're gonna kill us all!
With every word that she says, it's harder and harder for you to concentrate on her with the blinding rage that you're in, the immense amount of pain that you're feeling right now.
Can I roll a wisdom saving throw just to see if that I can actually snap out of my rage?
You can cancel your rage at any time.
I know, it's just like for story purposes.
Oh, no, it's absolutely fine. Go for it.
Thank you. Okay, that was a 20.
So you're sitting there and you're starting to hear things, and you're starting to come a little bit more to your senses, to where you're no longer acting entirely on just aggressive impulse. You have a little more of your faculties brought back to you.
Okay, I look back to everybody. We're not done yet. Just know that. And I cancel my rage and back away.
Okay. As you back away, he takes a swing at you, and math is hard. 11.
Misses.
Big old swing. He backs away. Now he is in the doorway right now. So to leave this room, you basically have up or through him.
Okay. Whatever you guys want to do, why don't you do it before I decide not to start thinking again.
Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Well, that's it.
All right. Song, you're up.
Okay.
I was actually next, but I'll hold.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, no,
sorry.
go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, it's Elaine. Sorry, I was
No,
looking
I'm
at the
gonna
initiative.
hold and see what everybody else is gonna do.
Okay. That was my bad. I have the initiative literally staring me in the face.
I mean, that was basically what I was gonna plan to do anyway.
Okay.
That's an Elaine move.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, he's
I
by himself,
hold my
so
action.
he doesn't know how to work with a group, so he's just like, everybody else make decisions.
So it's back to you, Song. Back to you, Song.
Well, all right. That'll work. Nice job, Greatsword. Okay, so, this has been fun. And you guys run like hell, okay? And she's gonna bolt forward and get in between Avok and this guy and stand there with her arms out wide, like trying to kind of keep them separated. Come at me! Come at me! Come hit me! I'm over here!
Okay. Roll me. I'll let you pick persuasion or intimidation.
Well, she's also gonna do that using thaumaturgy.
Okay, I'll give you advantage on whatever you decide to roll.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 23.
All right, so you sit there and you kind of tap into the arcane energy that you control with your voice. And you feel your vocal cords start vibrating much louder than they normally would. And so as you kind of stretch your arms out and look at him, instead of just kind of the petite voice that you generally have, this loud, booming almost deity-like voice comes out, and you go, "Attack me!" He kind of looks at you and shakes his head, and then just kind of focuses his eyes on you for a moment. Next up is going to be Fade.
Oh, this is good. So I have my shield up. I'm going to try and like spring forward with it, and over the back of it, targeted attack with my longsword at his hand to try to disarm him.
Due to the fact that he's holding it in two hands, even if you were to hit really solidly, he would still have it with the other hand. Just due to the fact that Battle Masters specifically have a disarm attack, I can't let you do that, unfortunately.
Then I will do the stand-up spring forward action, take an attack while screaming life.
Okay.
Since death apparently awoke these people. And I get a 6-7.
All right, so you come over with your long sword, and you actually hit his back, and you notice this tattoo as you strike it of this. What is it? Bull's head, right? Yeah, thanks. You actually hit that, and you notice that the skin is actually very, very thick there, and the blade just kind of tings right off of it.
Okay. I noticed this.
Next up is Buddy. He sees Song, and he's kind of a little bit fixated on the tiefling that is just screamed with unworldly power. And oh, he does super, super good. So he comes over and he swings this massive great axe at you. And as you see it coming down, you kind of move to the side and you can feel just a gust of wind as it comes down and impacts the ground next to you, damaging the carpet pretty bad. He brings it up for another swing. And 24. Does that hit?
Hits. Yep. But since he's going to hit me, let's play a game.
Okay.
Hellish Rebuke.
Well, go ahead and is that instant damage or is that a save?
That's a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. He fails. I will guarantee he fails. So as he comes down, you feel the axe pierce you right in the shoulder. Again, you feel him as you feel it start kind of ripping away your flesh. You take 12 plus 5, 17 slashing damage, and you have kind of a rather big gaping wound. As you pull it away, your eyes flash with fire. And from the wound itself, this burst of flame comes out and envelops him. What was the damage?
10 for fire.
Okay. Does that do anything special? No, it doesn't.
No.
I was just looking to see. This is a fun monster. I likes it. So as he hits it, you see this fire, and you hear this kind of otherworldly wail erupt from this creature. You just hear this. Avok, make another wisdom saving throw for me.
That is 18.
18. So as you hear this, you instantly feel that kind of cold pressure on your chest, and it becomes more hard to breathe because you've heard this cry of absolute pain and anguish before. And even though you were attacking it before, it's still very difficult for you to hear it and not react to it. But as that happens, you notice that the light and the expression of this creature kind of change for a second, and he shakes his head a little bit, looks at you, looks at the axe that's now dripping with blood and pieces of flesh and things like that on it, and then he looks over, and he kind of he looks specifically at you, Avok, because you're actually not that far away. You're just the next logical target that he looks at, and he looks at the axe, and he sees just these massive wounds on you, and you see him just kind of look at you and squint. He's like, Avok? And then you see him kind of grip his head in intense pain. He drops down to one knee, and then he gets up, expressionless again, and he just turns around and starts booking it out the door. Song, you can take a Song and Fate actually can take opportunity attacks.
Nice. That is 22.
22, okay. It's definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Song, what about you?
She's gonna go ahead and do thumb one more time, and as loud as she can, she's gonna scream Avok's name as loud.
This is just an opportunity attack as he walks away from you, so you can't use the cantrip as an opportunity attack.
You can't?
No, you have to do a melee attack.
Then no, she won't do anything.
Oh, sure. Okay, and that's fine. You don't have to. So, Fade, what was the damage you made?
10 slashing.
Wow, you hit hard.
Yep.
You rolled well. All right, so that happens. You notice that as it kind of digs into his flesh, he doesn't even seem phased by it. As he just walks out the door, you can hear him kind of walking away. But you did notice as you hit him, he acted very differently. Like any other time he got hit, it was like you were hitting an actual being. This time, he almost seemed like he was on autopilot. He just walked out of the room.
Okay.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Bar the door, please.
Well, he knows we're in here. We should probably leave.
To where?
Okay, let's bar the door. Let's try to climb back upstairs and take a nap on the bed.
The rope that Phaeton used to get down there is still there. So, with enough time, you guys should have no problem getting back up to the upper floor.
I just go to the corner and just sit down and just...
Yeah. If you want to stop, actually both Song and Avok, if you guys want to stop taking damage, you guys are going to need to roll me a medicine check to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I forgot to roll damage for you, Avok. So.
Ooh, no. 5.
5, okay. So you take 3 necrotic damage as you bleed out a little bit more. Song. Avok?
16.
16. You're fine. You again, you've had really bad wounds before. You kind of bandage yourself up. You're able to stop the bleeding. Song, go ahead and make another medicine check.
Can I walk over and try to help?
Sure. Song, you can make your medicine check with advantage.
12.
Again, stopping the bleeding, especially since it was only one wound, not the most taxing thing in the world. You are able to stop the bleeding, but you definitely know that you don't want to get hit with that thing again.
Thanks. Hey, Vok, you good?
I strongly urge my party that we need to take a nap because we're gonna die next time.
Yeah.
I'll take first watch.
Okay. Are there any preparations that you guys would like to make? You're in the upper room with a big old hole in the floor. Are there any preparations that you guys want to make before you sleep?
Song's gonna turn to Elaine. Sweetheart, can you make traps or set anything?
I don't think I can.
Nothing?
You're an urchin, right?
Yeah.
I get alarm. Is there any cans lying around? We could tie them to a string or something.
There were some empty bottles in one of those boxes.
Perfect. That will work. Rope? Anybody have some spare rope?
I've got lots of rope.
Excellent. Let's, if it's possible, you want to tie the tops together and have them hanging by the door or something, so if someone tries to enter it, we can hear them jingle.
Yeah, I can try that.
Unless anyone has any other ideas. Fade, Avok?
Works for me.
Okay. So, you guys kind of make camp. Does anyone want to sleep in the bed? It's a king size bed. Like it's.
When it's my turn, I'll be sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the corner.
Okay.
Elaine,
So
you take the bed.
you guys are able to make it through the night. One thing that all of you find a little bit strange is the fact that your trap didn't go off. None of you guys heard anything throughout the night. Like you didn't hear people wandering around. Nobody came into the room below you, which especially to you, Fade, with the fact that even being a cleric, you were taught a little bit of military tactics just to be a part of the Eladrin military in general. And it just seemed rather odd for nothing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are able to get a full long rest in.
Well, once everybody gets themselves together, I look at Avok. Who the hell was that? You know, big axe, kicking our faces in, that guy.
Someone who's supposed to be dead.
He is dead.
I got that. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Semantics.
Fade, go ahead and make a history check for me.
Not good. 6.
6.
No, 7. It's a nat 1.
Okay. You don't think anything different of this undead thing.
What?
Clearly he was supposed to be dead, but that doesn't answer the question. Who is he?
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn away and just ignore her and him. And actually, I'm just gonna ignore them if they ask me about him.
Okay.
I almost seem empathetic.
Mm-hmm. So, Fade, no, because you never really
you know
dealt
what?
with it. Never mind.
You know what? Okay. I'm going to use my spell command and try to get him to talk.
Okay.
What is with
it's a
everyone using
wisdom.
that spell on party members?
That's a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Gwen. There were 4 boxes down below, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I opened 3 of them. Can I open the last one? Check the last one for traps and open it.
You'll have to go back down into the room.
That's fine.
Avok got a 4. We can deal with that in just a second. Fade, you get a 1-word command.
Explain.
Avok, he turns to you and he clutches his holy symbol, and you see his eyes and kind of all around his body have this kind of dark indigo glow to them. And as he sits there and speaks to you, he just says one word. He says the word explain. And you feel this incredible compulsion to follow that command to the best of your abilities.
He was my brother. Or at least he would face my brother. I don't know.
Jesus.
Boy, that must be tough for you.
I fucking hate magic sometimes.
So, you guys want to get out of here?
Now, Fade, as you're kind of realizing everything, one thing has kind of been sticking out in the back of your mind. In all of the experience you've had, you've never heard of a creature that's been reanimated having anything to do with the former life it had.
But I could definitely discern that there was some kind of recognition when he kind of stopped and...
Well, he said
turned
the
away.
words Avok.
Well, yeah, okay.
Like it's fairly obvious. Like Avok is not like, where like, all the boys were named Jason one year and all the girls were named Elizabeth. Avok's a little bit more of a unique name.
Could have been.
Okay. Well, with that information in mind, I'm going to I want to get out of this room, but I want to explore because this really piques my interests. I want to continue on with what we started to do.
Okay.
Before we fought in the stupid armor. Well, guys, we checked out the top floor where we're at now. We checked out the room of the one below us. Shall we continue?
Checking the last box.
Okay. You climb down the rope. You go over. Roll me an intelligence investigation check.
Can I throw up a detect magic as well?
It's 11.
Sure. As you look over it, you detect no traps.
Okay, I'm gonna open it.
All right. As you open it, you notice the box itself seems relatively plain. It's very dark, but you do notice instantly as you open it up a glint of metal, light shining on metal. And as you look closer, you notice that there is what looks like some form of a dagger. However, it seems expertly made.
I'm taking it.
All right, so as you lift the dagger up, you notice that the weight of the dagger is perfectly balanced. And it's even though you've never held the blade before, it seems very, very comfortable in your hand.
And I'm keeping it.
The rest of you guys are still upstairs, have no idea what he's doing downstairs, other than the fact that he went down there. With your detect magic, you as you just kind of extend your magical awareness around you, you notice that the double doors that you came through, they seem to be radiating some sort of magical energy again, whereas they weren't last night. You get the idea that perhaps whatever it was that activated when you opened the first time may have reset.
Down the rope, folks.
Why?
The door traps back.
Okay. Good reason why.
Yeah, I go down the rope.
Okay. So you guys are able to go back down. The room itself looks like a tornado's been through it. Last night after the battle, you guys just went and found anything that you could kind of brace against the door. And so you have broken things all around, and you have shells that are just kind of piled in front of this door to make it very, very difficult to open.
Song also would have been searching for like another pair of clothes and her other equipment and everything.
You're able to find all of your equipment save the box.
Oh.
Oh.
Nowhere in the room. You even looked through the rubble and stuff like that, and you didn't even find things, pieces that resembled it. Everything else that you came in with, you noticed, like, after you were able to kind of, there was actually I can't remember what they're called, a dummy or a frame or whatever it is. The thing that you hang clothes on when you're like sewing them and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
You actually found a dummy that had your clothes on it, which seemed a little bit creepy, especially since for whatever reason, like it was exactly your size.
I still wear them better.
Everything else, like all the rest of your equipment, after searching around for a little bit, you're able to find just about everything.
Shit!
What?
Something's missing.
Explain.
Charming.
You remember the last time he said that word, it just seemed more official.
Oh, actually, as he says that word, I punch him in the face.
Your face smarts a little bit as Avok's knuckles kind of crunch across your chin. Doesn't draw blood, but you definitely feel it.
I try to give him a high five. Solid.
Where, Ethan?
So I have an unidentified dagger right now.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Okay.
So even though there are things, there's still items that are basically destroyed all about them. She is still just frantically digging through everything, even though they've already searched this room probably like 3 times over by now trying to find items. And she is just cursing in infernal and common alike.
So as you guys are kind of watching her kind of regress into an almost feral state, she's running around the room. She's actually got to the point where single-handedly she's starting to move some of the shelving units that you guys pushed against the door, trying to see if there's anything under it. She keeps looking. Go ahead and make an intelligence investigation check for me, Song.
Okay. Because I'm so good at those. Investigation. Okay. 11.
So, as you're looking around and you're moving things, you see a glint of something golden. And as you go down, you notice the key that's used to wind it.
Son of a bitch. Where is it? Where fuck is it?
And no matter how much more searching you do, that's the only piece that you find. And again, looking through, like you go through the rubble like 3 or 4 times, there's nothing that looks even remotely similar to it. So you don't think it was destroyed or anything. It's just simply not here.
So, are we going to be in this room all day?
She single-handedly has cleared the doorway, by the way, guys. You guys are slightly impressed, if not just a little bit worried.
I haven't stopped being worried about this one.
You do care. Kind of. Damn it. Are you still gonna make that comment, David?
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna instantly snap her head in your direction. Her eyes are probably ablaze in an infernal fire. We're not leaving until I find the damn thing!
What are you looking for now?
A
You can
precious
talk-
item.
Is there a
Okay.
description to this precious item? So that maybe
There
we
very well might be.
And
So
you
we can-
won't tell us.
I mean, we can't help you if we don't know what it looks like.
We got you your violin. What's next?
You know what? Why don't you tell Lane since you fancy him?
Sorry, I have a drinking problem, guys.
It's all good.
I just had an airplane thought.
Sorry, I'm just completely covered in milk right now. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. You're right. You're right. You did help me find the violins, so clearly you're not the bastards who caged me. My apologies for assuming so.
It took you that long to figure that out.
Forgive me, honey, but I was in a drugged-induced state and they'd been experimenting on me for God knows how long. I couldn't see them. I could never see their faces. I didn't know who you were. All I knew was that I'd never seen you before. What would you have assumed?
Fair point. All right, well,
There's
clearly,
an item. Please, I can't leave without it. I beg of you. It's a small thing. It barely fits in the palm of my hand. It's a jewelry box, a music box.
all right. I don't plan on leaving either because I like to know what the fuck is going on in regards to my brother.
Right. And we will figure that out.
Good. So why don't we leave the room because I think it's been clear that it's not your thing is not here. Shall we?
Yes. Sorry.
So, you guys go through the door.
Can I listen out into the hallway first?
Perception check.
$16.
You don't hear anything.
That's a good thing.
Everything okay?
Avok, you go first.
Gladly.
Meat shield. Do your job.
Yes.
As you step out of the hallway, you notice that as you come out, this floor itself is much different from the one before. The one before had was basically just one long hallway that kind of looped around. This one is a little bit more open. You can see there are doors and rooms all around, but for the most part, it's kind of like a foyer type area with a bunch of rooms coming off of it. And you can see at the very end is a door that looks identical to the one that you guys stepped through on the top floor from the stairwell.
Pick a door.
There's a grand total of 2, 4. So on the wall that you guys are on, you can notice that there's a room on either side of the room that you were just in, and then there's 2 more rooms on either side of this foyer, and then at the back hall, the back wall is that door to the stairway.
Whatever door we go through, let me check it for traps first.
Can I just place my hand near the door and see if I can get any radar blips for my detect magic if it's still up? It's a 10-minute duration.
Yeah, it'll still be up for a little bit. You're not really getting a whole lot of magic from it. You get the idea that the room that you just came from seems like at one point it might have held some magical items. You can get kind of that residual magical feeling from it, especially with the dead, magical golem in there. But you don't really sense what's the 30-foot radius? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, you're really not getting a whole lot.
Okay. I point to the right one.
Checking the right door for traps.
All right. Intelligence investigation, please.
I'm not smart. Stop making me do this. Just roll a 9.
You detect no traps. It's my favorite phrase in the world is you detect no traps and you think you're stealthed.
I'm pretty sure this door is safe, guys. It's not trapped in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. What would you like to do, Elaine?
Do we want to go through that one first?
And you guys are going to one of the rooms that's next to the one you just came out of, right?
Get to the right.
Okay. So you go there. You try the door handle. You notice that this one is not locked. You open it up and are greeted with what you assume used to be some sort of storage room. However, kind of like upstairs, it doesn't look like this has been used in a very long time. You see a couple barrels are around there. You see some boxes on some shelves. They all have a nice level of dust on them.
Dusty.
Like no one's been in here a while.
Yeah, you kind of get that feeling.
Well, let's see what's in this shit.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me give you a little bit of help, okay? Okay, so she's gonna go ahead and use prestidigitation and clean off the dust and everything.
Okay.
In the room.
So you see Song come in, and she kind of whistles a little tune, and as she does, you see her kind of flicking her hands. You notice that the dust just starts disappearing in relatively large amounts. And she'll go over here and she'll flick a wrist, and then it gets clean. And after probably about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, she's just kind of wandering around whistling. The room itself doesn't look half bad.
And then finally, I will go ahead and make a circular motion as if she's kind of creating a ball out of the air and use light.
Okay. What are you casting light on? Because you do have to cast it on something.
Oh.
The dagger I gave you?
Yeah, that would work fine. It's small enough, and it won't attract too much attention.
So you sit there and you kind of move your hands around, and then this kind of ball of magical energy starts to form. And you bring the dagger out, and you kind of just lightly tap it, and this bright light springs forth from the tip of the dagger. You can see really, really well.
Oh, I better show you guys actually too what this stuff looks like. That might help.
Yeah, let's start searching through this room, I guess.
Okay. Do you want a box or a barrel?
Box.
All right. So you go over, you take your old dagger, use it to pry open one of the box. It is full of dust and you can't really see much of anything in it. At one point, you think there might have been something in it, but it is long since decayed into nothingness.
Okay, yeah, this room hasn't been used in a long time.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Mhm.
It doesn't hurt to check.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
open
about the rest of you guys?
Barrel.
Okay. You come over and you just kind of slam one side of the barrel to kind of pop the lid open. I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Thank God I have good con. That is a 18.
As you pop it open, the most putrid, disgusting smell you have ever smelled in your life comes out. You look down, you assume at one point this used to hold some sort of fruit. It is long since fermented and turned into something disgusting. Um, the colony of fungus is so advanced, you can actually see them conducting their first election for prime minister.
Jeez. This room was
Because of
really
the relatively tight seal on the barrel, the decay in this particular thing was slowed significantly. But yeah, super, super, super ripe.
Oh God! Why is everything in this place has to smell like shit?
I'll shower later. Promise.
Okay, so let's see. There's nothing in the crate. There's rotten shit in here. I get the feeling this was a food storage thing.
It's theoretically possible.
I was hoping that'd be wine.
I'm gonna open another crate real quick.
Good call on the wine thing. I want to open another crate. I want to open a crate as well.
So as you guys kind of go through everything. The barrels themselves, the one you opened was enough to kind of satisfy your curiosity. The crates, after kind of seeing that the barrel must have held some sort of fruit or perishable item, you guys get the idea that the crates possibly had like sacks of grain or something in them. But because they weren't very well preserved, unlike the barrels that were much better sealed, everything just kind of decayed. Even the bags that were in there kind of decayed into to nothingness. We're talking about literally centuries since anyone has been in here.
Okay, this room's a bust.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to open another barrel?
No.
No. Thank you.
All right.
Like we learned the first time.
So you guys go back out into the hall. You have a door to the left of the room that you were in. Actually, you went to the one to the right, and then you have
two across.
Yeah, a total of 4 other rooms on this level, and then the exit.
Jody, I have a question.
I have an answer. Let's see if they match.
I know. Hopefully. Now, when we did this specific music box, I really didn't go into too much detail as to how it operated.
Uh-huh.
How does it operate on your end?
That's entirely up to you. The only thing that I've kind of added to it is that it does have a key that you use to wind it. Beyond that, you can decide exactly how you want it to operate.
Okay, so... Okay.
So if you want it to be like a traditional, music
Yeah.
box, it can be.
Yeah.
Most like kind of clockwork style music boxes, you'll have a key that you twist, and then that's what causes the music to play. And once the spring that you've twisted has lost all of its tension, it stops playing the music.
Okay. This one's kind of a bit different than that.
Okay. Ooh.
All right, who's companion this time?
Exterminate. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Where do you guys want to go?
I point to the left door while not touching it.
Okay. To speed
Checking
things
the
along
left
a little
door for
bit.
traps.
hang on a second before we start checking anything. Let me see if I can even tell if it's being played.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
go ahead. That'd be a perception check if you're trying to listen for it.
Sure. Oh, I'm gonna be bad at this. 12.
You hear nothing. Beyond the sound your party is making, you don't hear anything.
Nothing. I was hoping to make this easier, but I guess not.
So to speed things along a little bit, when you go into the other room, it looks very similar to the one that you were just in. No barrels in this one. This one's actually a little bit more empty than the other one, just a few crates. As you open them up, you notice again nothing but dust and empty space.
Next.
Damn it.
I point to the fourth door.
So as you guys kind of work your way around, you get the idea that most of these doors have not been used. The ones that are a little bit closer, you notice again they're not locked. You notice that only one of them has been opened anytime recently. And as you go into that one specifically, you recognize the hallmarks of just kind of a general purpose storage room. You find a few. You find rope. You find some tools. You don't find any kind of usable weapons, but you do find things like iron spikes and stuff like that. You assume that this was just kind of a general purpose storage room for stuff you would use, like building supplies kind of thing. The other three rooms are almost entirely empty.
Well, I would like to probably try heading downstairs again quietly, though.
Okay.
I'm following.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go down. Again, this is a 4-story building. You go down to the landing on the second floor.
Do I see any signs of activity on this floor?
Nothing. But again, you're just in the stairwell right now.
Okay.
Do you
I don't
want
wanna
to
miss
peek around the
something.
corner?
Go peek.
Okay.
I'll watch you.
No, it's fine. If anything happens, I'll scream. I'm good at that.
So you opening the door, or what do you want to do? Basically, you're in a giant spiral staircase.
Okay.
And the center of this spiral staircase is completely open. There's that really big chandelier that you guys saw last time with those ever burning candles that Fade's familiar with. And you're on the second level basically, and there's a door. There's a landing and there's a door.
Okay, and we're standing at that door. Alrighty.
Yep.
Lockpicks, you're smarter. Do you want to go ahead and try and see if you can hear anything through the door as well?
I
Two heads
guess.
are better
I
than
don't
one.
know. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. So we'd roll investigation with advantage, right?
Sure.
We're helping. Yeah.
Or technically, if you just listen through the door, it's perception.
Perception?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm kind of good at that.
I mean, if you want to go ahead, you go for it.
I mean, do you have better perception?
You wouldn't know.
Oh, darn.
You can both listen at the door.
I hear
Figured.
nothing. It's really quiet in there.
I have a 15.
So as you're sitting there listening, nothing really comes out. Like you don't really hear anything. However, Elaine, as you're sitting there and you press your ear against the door, you're not hearing anything. Song comes up and presses like you've got your right ear against the door. She comes up and presses her left ear against the door, and her face is literally right next to you. And so you get a little bit sheepish as she's very intently listening to the door, like she's not even paying attention to you, but you just have this very attractive tiefling face like right in front of you.
The fanfics are everywhere!
Oh God. I'm just gonna.
We just wait for the shipping to happen.
I know,
Gonna walk away from the door.
That's probably why you had such a hard time hearing anything with the sound of your heartbeat banging in your ears.
Yeah.
Your face turns a little bit red.
Love it.
Yeah.
So you hear nothing on the other side of the door.
Mm-mm. No, nothing. Slowly open the door, yes? Everyone okay with that?
Okay.
If you don't open, I'm gonna kick it.
All right, I will let you kick it then.
Go ahead and make an athletics check for me, Avok.
It's a 23.
So you come up, and as you get closer, you see hinges on this side of the door.
Oh, God.
So as you come forward and you connect with it, you feel resistance, and you just push through it, and you completely demolish this door. Splinters go everywhere. The handle itself goes flying, and as you kind of recover from this rather massive kick that you just did, you look out and you can see a railing directly in front of you, about waist high. And beyond that, it seems like there's a drop, and you can see what looks like the top of a set of two very, very large doors.
Well, I think they know we're here.
Well done.
Hey, if you didn't open it, I was going to.
I know. Well done.
It is now opened permanently.
Although I would have preferred grabbing the handle and just, pulling it actually open, not kicking a hole in the wall.
To be fair, I did say I was going to kick it.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I should have
So,
learned after seeing that door.
As you
come down
guys
the
kind
damn
of walk
stairs.
through, you realize that you're on kind of like an upper balcony. It goes around the outside of this room. You realize that the center of this room is the bottom floor. It's basically just a room with very high ceilings. And you guys can see that there are two sets of stairs that descend down into this lower chamber. Everything is decked out in this very regal, almost royal red color of tapestries, and there's carpeting on the floor. You can see at the end of this hallway are these two massive doors that look to be relatively intricately carved. Song, go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Bitch. I'm even worse than Elena's intelligence. No, I'm not 15.
So as you look at this, you feel this pang of almost nostalgia as you look at these runes. You realize that they look very similar to Infernal, but you can't understand any of them. Kind of like if someone that speaks English was looking at a Slavic-based language. Technically, all the letters look like they should be there, but none of them make sense. And every so often you'll see a letter that just doesn't really fit in with the alphabet that you remember.
That's very odd. Do any of you speak Infernal?
Nope.
No.
Abyssal.
Okay. Well, I do.
Fade, you said you speak Abyssal, right?
Correct, sir.
Go ahead and roll me in a history check too.
13 plus 4, 17.
So as you're looking at it, you don't feel nostalgia or anything, but you can sit there and you can pick out certain shapes that look very similar to abyssal writing.
Okay.
None of it. There's not enough of it there to complete a single word, but you can kind of you can see maybe that this might be something that either Abyssal influenced this language or this language influenced Abyssal. You can tell there might be a common ancestor with these, whatever it is this language is written in.
I make a mental note of what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Anyway, these are very interesting. They're very similar to the Infernal language. I mean, all the letters are there, but it's like, it's almost a slang, a term. Like, they just don't make sense to me.
Looks gibberish to me.
Yeah, me too. Which is why it's weird, but it looks familiar.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, the weirdest part about this to you song is the fact that not only does it seem like you should recognize it, but you don't, but for whatever reason, it feels familiar. Fade, it doesn't feel anything to you.
Have I seen this before? I can't remember.
So, what would you guys like to do? You got some stairs in front of you.
I cast light on my shield and walk down them on the left side.
As you start getting a little bit closer to the floor, your detect magic at this point, or no, you guys went through that entire search thing. Your detect magic is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So as you descend to the floor, as you step on the floor, you feel the very familiar tinge of magic activating, but you don't instantly feel that kind of dread you felt when you activated the trap. It just feels like, and this is something, living in the Platinum City for as long as you did, you're very used to using magical items. This simply feels like you've switched on a magical switch. As he does that,
hold on.
you guys all, like the hair on the back of your neck start standing on end, and you guys can feel magic, and you start noticing this wind start to pick up, and you start noticing like shapes and things start to kind of swirl around, and they all kind of swirl and move and change and eventually form the figure of a male, relatively old Eladrin. That song you instantly recognize. That I actually have to go back and remember what
You
his
too?
name is. I'm sitting here and I'm completely drawing a blank.
Corin?
Corin, there we go. You recognize him immediately as Corin. And the rest of you guys, Fade, you've never seen this person before in your life. The rest of you guys have no idea who he is, but he's obviously a Ladrin just in the way that he carries himself. However, you guys also notice that he's translucent. You can see through him. So as he's standing there, you hear, you see him kind of just standing there, and he kind of opens his eyes, looks across the party, and you see him just kind of stifle a giggle. He's like, So, it seems the intruders were not exactly what I expected.
Oh, joy. Seems like a pompous legend is what I expected.
Song, what are you doing out of your cage?
My bad.
And who are your new friends? I don't seem to remember granting you permission to bring friends.
Like hell I need permission from you, you sick bastard!
Well, it seems like that temper still as fiery as ever.
Bloody coward.
To the rest of you, you have wandered into a place you should not be. However, being the kind and benevolent person that I am, I will allow you to admit your mistakes and leave after returning my property. And he just focuses his eyes on Song.
Kind and benevolent, my ass. Is that what you call what you had done to all those poor people? That's not benevolence! You're a monster!
Okay.
For people that don't understand the greater purpose, what I do may seem slightly barbaric, but, and then you notice that as he's kind of scanning the room, he stops specifically on Fade. And he goes, well, this is certainly interesting. I had no idea a like mind was with us. You, Eladrin, what is your name?
I am Fade of House Moonbreeze. What's yours, sir?
I am Corin.
Oh, the Corin. The one that stole her stuff and put her in a cage?
You know, and you see him he looks at you very intently. He's like, you know who I am. You also know what it is that I do and how important it is to all of us.
What?
You are under oath to obey the commands of your superiors. I will tell you this once. You have wandered where you should not be, and you need to leave now. Go. And he turns back towards Song, put that one back in its place. She is more valuable to us than you know.
Sorry, what? I wasn't listening.
You insolent, low-bred, worthless excuse for an Eladrin.
No,
Blah,
that's
blah,
nice.
blah, blah. Okay, I'm getting a little fucking tired of this shit. First off, what the fuck did you do with my brother? Secondly, if you don't tell me anything in the next 3 seconds, I'm cutting your fucking throat.
Okay. He's not here.
Oh, look how adorable the little beast is. Oh, you would make a fine addition to my, let's call it a menagerie.
Okay, stupid
And
fancy words aside, I am really fucking tired of this Elijah bullshit.
Ivaki wants to experiment on you.
Fade,
Yeah, well, he can try, because it ain't gonna fucking happen. I ain't gonna.
you are not keeping your servants in line very well.
Okay,
This
first
reflects very badly on your family.
Oh, for God's sakes. I serve no fucking Eladrin anymore, okay? I just happen to work with this guy. You ever
no,
refer to me as a fucking servant again, I will seriously
silence!
stuff your head. Oh, shut the fuck up.
Done.
I will.
I have given you your warning. If you refuse to listen to my words, then you will pay the consequences. Fade, you know what it is that I do. You know what it is that I can do to each and every one of you. And you also know what it is that I can do to everyone you hold dear.
Let me pose this scenario to you. I understand her worth. Could I perhaps ensure her safety? I'd like to gain whatever knowledge you may have discerned, but through different means. Perhaps I can take a different approach to your work.
I will let you choose, and this will be up to you as far as what you think you should be using. You can use persuasion or deception.
It's got to be deception.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll your deception check.
I'm not a bargaining chip.
19 plus 1, unnatural 20.
Ooh.
So as he sits there and you notice that he kind of looks, he's like, well, it has been quite a while since I've had a useful assistant. I suppose you could bring her to me, and I might be able to share some of what I have gleaned. However, what you learn here, you cannot reveal to those back in the Platinum City.
What?
There is a reason that I do my work so far away.
No.
Here's the thing.
However, leave the beast and the half-breed where they stand. Or, if you prefer, slit their throats and we can use them as well.
You even try anything, I'm gonna hurt you bad.
So let's say this goes down as you just proposed. See, I got here by mistake. I don't know where I am. How could I get back to the Platinum City?
Oh, well, we have regular supplies that come from the docks, directly from the Platinum City. It's not that they don't know where I am. I just choose to be far enough away that I don't have to deal with petty squabbling and other things.
You mean morals?
Fade, your servants are causing me great grief. Would you please do something about that?
Sure. I turn away from him and say, hey guys, let's go. And try to walk up the stairs.
Where are you going? That's
to the docks to wait for the next ship so we can get home.
What?
I thought you just told me you wanted to see my work, and now you are...
No. I said I wanted to do my work, which is not your work. Your work sucks. I disagree with everything you're doing. Well, most everything. But it's useful. I don't want to leave her locked up in a cage.
You will not be leaving here with my property. I bought and paid for her. Do you have any idea what you are dealing with?
Yeah, a fucking schmuck.
Not property. Stop using that word!
Fade, you have no choice. You will bring me my property. And then, if I decide it, you may be allowed to leave. Beyond that, I will be very cross if you decide to ignore my words.
Oh, an old legend with a little tiff. Whoop-de-fucking do. You haven't seen rage like mine.
This image of him, is it a representation of Corn? Or is it I want to be, can I look at him and see a transparent but complete image?
Yeah, it looks like he's standing there, just he seems to be transparent. You have never used magic like this, but you have heard of the ability to project illusions over fairly significant distances and control them. You assume this must be something similar to that.
What weapon does he have on him on display?
You can see in his right hand, he's been holding a rather impressive looking staff that you recognize as a mage staff. And in the tip of it, you can see platinum inlaid in it.
Okay.
Oh, shizzle.
Corin, where is it? Where is it?
And you notice that he's not even acknowledging you anymore. He's just looking at Fade.
You bastard. Give me my music box! Where is it?
I will leave you some time to decide. When you choose to do the right thing, I will be waiting in my laboratory. And you notice that the image itself starts to fade and kind of waver and disappears.
Pansy!
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay. I grab Fade by his scuff or something and just pull him right to me. What the fuck do you know?
Hey, back. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. How's about this? Explain!
Hey, Bach.
For some odd reason, it doesn't quite carry the weight that it had when Fade said it.
I chuckle, but I'm partial to keep his temper down, so I will, as vaguely as possible, explain that one of the things I do has to deal with the magic that may or may not be controlling his brother. Not that I have anything to do with it, but I am familiar with such things. Apparently,
that specific thing you've never heard. You've never seen magic that reacts that way with an undead creature ever. Like that is still completely beyond your realm of understanding.
he might not know that.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Fair
The
enough.
rest of you ignore what I just said.
I don't know who that guy is other than his name is Corin, and apparently there's some history. By the way, thanks a lot, Song, for getting us into this one. But it's no joke. I don't know what we're gonna do here. I'm certainly not adept enough to do any of these magics that I see him controlling. Kind of worried, but I was just kidding, by the way. I wasn't gonna do anything to you.
I let go and just give him a little push away. Whatever. Let's just figure out what the fuck we're doing and do it.
So you guys have a big old set of double doors in front of you.
So does these doors look familiar to you? Is this the laboratory that he's referring to?
Who are you asking?
Song.
Me.
You do not recognize these doors specifically.
No.
Beyond, for whatever reason, whenever you attempt to access memories of whatever it was that he did to you, they stop once you enter this building. They just cut to black. So you know he did something to you. You have no idea what it was. You can't remember any of it. You just get this really bad feeling whenever you try and think about it.
Oh boy. I tried to console her without touching. I'm very sorry that whatever he's done to you, I'd like to make him pay. There are other ways to go about this type of magic.
What did he do to me?
just by seeing her in that cage and the area she was in, I mean, can I discern any of the possible experiments?
Roll. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. You can roll it with advantage.
That's good.
Good.
19 and 7. So 19.
Buddy.
Holy shit! Damn.
Damn.
As you sit there and you kind of look over a little bit, trying to be as polite as possible, you place a hand on her shoulder, and Song, as he kind of touches your shoulder, you can feel that there's more to this touch than him just wanting to get a feel. And you start kind of reading her and start trying to examine her for some of the telltale signs of necromantic magic exposure. Even people that wield it and do so voluntarily will have little side effects from the necromantic energy coursing through them. And you get the idea that she's been exposed to necromantic magic and has been affected by it, as in actually necromantic magic has been cast on her specifically. Beyond that, you don't really know. You do know that was not what you did.
Well, I'm not going to relay that to her because no one needs to know about that. Nobody would want to. So I'm just going to say, whatever he did, it's over for now. I'm not going to let him do it again. But we need to find a way out of here quick.
One time that I don't want to be important. Do you know why?
I can't tell. You clearly have some power. Perhaps it intrigued him. I don't know what he was referring to. Why you're so important. You're awesome and everything, but you just seem like a tiefling to me.
Have you met others then? No others?
You haven't. You've never seen anything like her before in your life. The only reason you know the word tiefling is because you might have heard her refer to herself as it.
Yeah.
But you've never seen anyone like her in your life.
So that's what you are.
Yeah.
Growing up as an Eladrin, you are familiar with warlocks that illegally took demonic pacts. None of them have ever been anything like her. Like if you take a pact long enough, eventually you sometimes start showing signs of it, but nothing has ever been even similar to her specifically, and you don't sense demonic magic from her.
Oh, fuck.
I can't. Please. Please. Please don't make me go back into that cage, please. I'll do anything.
Okay, just chill a bit. You're not going back into a cage. Believe me, I would never allow anyone to suffer like that. We're gonna get you out. First, we need to deal with this fuckhole. I would like to personally cut his head off.
You and me both.
Perhaps we can get your brother's help in that matter.
How?
I don't know. But he seemed to recognize you at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
There must be some glimmer of your brother left. Perhaps we can appeal to him somehow.
My brother died in my arms. There's nothing left.
But he said your name.
That's not a thing that happens. The memories don't stay. Trust me on that. Something bigger is going on here.
But he didn't. At least let us get some answers.
Yeah,
I think he said we have some time. I think we should make haste and look for your brother. And in that process, we can keep our eyes open for her music box. Perhaps that finding that will ease your pain.
Avac, if I may ask, what's your brother's name? What was his name?
Korvac.
Korvac.
Yeah. And as I say his name, I just feel like an ache in my heart because I have not spoken his name in so long.
We will avenge him. You have my word.
Yeah, well, there's more than one way to deal with that. This is one. There's another I have to deal with.
So, Elaine, you've just kind of been watching all of this stuff unfold. You're still in this very, very much like a ballroom type area with two very large doors. Song, you know the doors themselves are in the same direction as the rest of this city castle that you saw from the balcony. So you get the idea that this
So they're
is
like entranceways?
Yep. You get the idea that this is kind of the entrance to the rest of this manor.
Okay. Well, from what I saw, hanging above on that railing, correct, this is going to lead us towards outside. What would you rather do?
Behind you, you guys can see, again, you can see the door that you guys came through on the second floor is kind of hidden because just how the balcony works. You can see the first floor entrance to that spiral staircase, and then to the left of it, because that's kind of in the corner, to the left of that, you can see, looks like another set of double doors, not nearly as wide as this, that lead, you assume, to the front entrance of this castle, and to, you know, the forest outside. So you can head through the smaller doors and leave this area, go into the wilderness, or you can go through the bigger doors and continue through this kind of city castle place.
I'm gonna walk up to the doors that lead more into the castle.
Okay.
Elaine, do your thing.
Is it?
Maybe we can find the laboratory.
I'm gonna go up to the door that Avok went up to and check and see if it's locked or anything.
You don't see anything as far as like locks or anything on it. You do see. Actually, on this side, it's completely plain except for two very large rings that you assume you would use to open it.
Can I
But
see
you
if
see
it's
no
trapped?
locking mechanism on this side.
Can I see if it's trapped in any way or anything?
Yeah, go ahead and investigation check.
14.
You detect no traps.
Go ahead and push it open.
You push and push and push and nothing happens. You get the idea that with these two large rings, it might work better if you pull it.
Avok pull it open.
Fair enough.
As you pull it open, you notice that they must be weighted or something because they open with very little effort, no more than you would use to open up a regular door. As they open, they have this giant creaking sound as they slowly open up and the light spills in from the sunlight above. You notice on the back of this door slots that you are very familiar with because you've broken through them before. Where a giant crossbeam would normally be lowered in the instance of a siege or anything like that, to keep people out of this area. So as the doors open, you guys kind of blink for a little bit because you've been indoors for so long. And as you look out, you notice what Song saw before, this massive area, large enough, not anywhere near as large as the Platinum City or anything, but large enough that a fairly large population could live here very comfortably. As you kind of inspect it, you notice that this road goes down, and you can see quite a few different areas that you would have access to. You can see towards the back, you can see this very tall, very ominous looking tower. You can see towards, because you're facing north, to the west, you can see this area with a lot of smaller buildings that are all connected together. You can also see what looks like almost like a manor house or something like that. Very, very elegant, and that's kind of to the northwest, situated between the smaller buildings and this large tower. You see this kind of manor house. And then at the bottom of the path, before it goes to these three areas, you can see what you would assume used to be kind of maybe like a center of town. You can see individual buildings out there. You can see one that, again, from this far away, it's a little bit difficult to see. You can see one with a massive smokestack. You would assume that this might have been like a forge or a blacksmith. You can see another one. It's 2 stories tall. It's got a chimney, very typical of like a tavern. You assume this must have been like a town center or something like that at the very base of the path leading from where you guys are. In order to reach any of the 3 other places, you would have to go through that that town center. So what would you guys like to do?
Are there any of these ghost people walking around like we saw at the docks?
You don't see anything here, but you can definitely tell that there's been recent travel along this path. So, yeah, you don't see anyone from where you are right now, but that doesn't mean a ton. And you can tell that people have been here recently.
I'm going to let someone else go first and kind of look at that reagent vial that I got earlier, see if I can discern exactly what it is.
The reagents that you found are kind of generic. Some of them are embalming fluids. Some of them are actually dead pieces of flesh that have just had a lot of necromantic energy kind of forced into them to kind of work as a catalyst. Few other like mushrooms and things like that that are very poisonous. All things that you've worked with before.
I look at Avok and I say, not to be insensitive, but where would your brother go? Did he have any old favorite hangouts back when he was alive?
It's really hard to hang out when you're pretty much nothing but meat shields for fucking Eladrin. No offense. Well, we did enjoy drinking, so maybe go to a tavern, I guess.
Where would he go if he was upset?
If any of us were upset, we just drink it away.
Then the bar.
I look around for signs of the bar and ask Elaine if she has any idea where we should go.
I don't know. Are we gonna look for Avok's brother? Or are we gonna look for the music box?
We came from the bottom floor of that castle. We came up the stairs when we got her. We checked from the top down, so I think there's no reason to go back there.
We never went to the laboratory, though.
We couldn't find it.
Yeah, you didn't see anything fade from your own definition of the word laboratory. You saw nothing in this area that you've searched that you would classify as a lab.
Yeah, and he did say that he wants me to bring her to his laboratory, so I got the inference that it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel confident that we're done with the castle.
See, I thought there were stairs going up and stairs going down when we first entered this building, and we decided to go all the way to the top and go down from there.
Yeah,
but we never
stairs,
went down the ones to the laboratory.
You guys entered on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So there is a basement. So
basically, you guys are on the ground level of this building. If I described it differently, that was because I was confused last week and we're going to retcon it. There's no basement to this building. You're on the ground floor. You're on the lowest level.
To the bar.
All right. Well, if you guys are going to just kind of go down and go into that kind of town center, I know it's a little bit early, but I am very much exhausted from some personal issues earlier today. So for right now, that is where we are going to end tonight's story. Normally we do go for another half hour. Like I said, I am exhausted right now.
That's fine.
So thank you so much, everybody that tuned in and watched and communicated with us. Thanks for the new subscribers. Those of you that subscribed, I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is a twice a month campaign. So the next episode will be the 2nd of February, which is 2 weeks from today. So you can tune right in here. Definitely follow the channel because I always tweet and you'll get notifications when we go live. I also do a lot other like game streaming on this channel as well. So yes, as far as my lovely guests, do any of you guys have anything you want to plug while I am shamelessly plugging myself? That sounds dirty.
I guess I could plug something. Well, it's D&D related.
Okay.
For anybody who is like an up-and-coming DM or just wants to find material for their campaigns or anything, go to dmsguild.com and you will find plenty of fun stuff to use, like for campaigns and other stuff. And hell, Matthew Mercer, one of our favorite people of all time, put up the Blood Hunter class and the Gunslinger Martial Archetype for free, or if you want to like pitch in some money towards his hard work, go right ahead. I know I did. So
yeah, what he's talking about, the Dungeon Masters Guild is a brand new thing from Wizards of the Coast. It's a place where you can actually publish your own custom work set in 5th edition under some guidelines. I think everything there is Forgotten Realms or non-genre, non-campaign specific. And yeah, it's really cool. Definitely check it out. Obviously, you know, we're using 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, but we're using a custom made world. We're not set in the Forgotten Realms or anything like that. So anything you find there, like I would not be able to publish the material I write for this there because it's a custom world and it's confusing. Check it out; it's really cool. I've already downloaded the class from there. A couple classes actually. I already have the Blood Hunter and Gunslinger stuff, and it's really really cool. A lot of it is free. A lot of it is very low. Low cost, like $1 or $2. So really, really cool. Anyone else have anything they want to talk about before we go off the air?
Just one thing to actually add. I do know that on that site, even if you guys do end up paying for wanting to, you know, give us a little bit credit to the people who created those things, it actually goes directly to them. It doesn't go to the website. It doesn't go to any outsource or anything that I know of.
It's a 50-50 cut.
Is it 50-50?
Yeah. The creator gets 50% of whatever you pay, and then 50% gets actually split between the people that run dmsguild.com or whatever it is, the website itself, and Wizards of the Coast. So not only are you supporting the people that are writing custom content, you're also helping to support Wizards of the Coast so that they can, you know, they can make more things and they can hire some of these people to write for them and other things like that. So it's good all around.
Yeah.
So beyond that, again, I'm Trainer Jody. You are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter if you want. That's where I tweet about all this stuff. If you guys have noticed the little thing in the upper, for me, it's the upper right-hand corner, and I think that's what it is for everyone else. I am trying to raise money so that I can make it to LA to be able to give a gift to the Critical Role Cast live on during Christmas. I have not asked Geek and Sundry for permission to do this yet, so I don't know if they're even going to let me do it. But they have let other fans give gifts to them directly, so I'm hoping, I do have quite a few friends in the mods. I'm hoping I can either guilt trip or blackmail them into letting me do this. In order to do it, though, I've got to raise money. That's one of the reasons I'm streaming so much. I'm trying to stream at least every other day. So if you guys want, there's a thing that says tip jar. You're more than welcome to donate. You are by no means required or anything. I'm going to be streaming whether or not people donate. But I do want to mention that I will be streaming a lot, playing everything from Dragon Age Inquisition to I played some Diablo, just any game that tickles my fancy. I may even pick up Dark Souls again so you guys can watch me die over and over and over again. So anyway, that is all for me today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more streams. Oh, the other thing, if you missed any of this or any of the other episodes, I upload all of them to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TrainerJody. So feel free to watch and tune in there if you guys want to see how everything else has kind of transpired, if you want to see where the story started, or if you ever miss an episode, all right? So again, that's all for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow, all right? Bye-bye!